There's been a lot of conversation lately about women leaving good men or women walking away from a man that's a quote unquote good man. And I think a part of the problem is that a lot of men define themselves as good men and they actually aren't. These self proclaimed good men think that they are because they don't cheat on women or beat on women. But it takes more to being a good man than not doing those things. And just because a man is a quote unquote good man doesn't mean he's the good man for you. Some of these quote unquote good men don't respect women. They weaponize their incompetence. They don't take care of their children. They're disrespectful. They consume manosphere red pill content all day and they think that women are beneath them. I feel like the men who are acting as if women are being too picky or we're looking for the perfect man if we don't want the quote unquote good guy, it's the same energy as saying for them to settle. It's like the saying goes, give a man 10 women and he'll keep looking. Give a woman 10 men and she'll choose. They want you to choose out of this small batch of men and say, hey, out of these 10 guys, which one do you want? Yeah, but there's more than 10 guys out there. And even if he's the nicest out of the 10, doesn't mean that he's what I want. These men want single women to say close enough, he's good enough, he'll do, but that's not what men say. They take their time. They're in no rush to find what they want, but they want to rush you along. They want to make you feel like you're up against the clock. You're running out of time. Your childbearing years are over. That's why they try to tell you that after 25 you're no good and all that. They have a vested interest in trying to hurry you up and picking one of them because they know if you actually took your time, they wouldn't even get picked.
If you walked away from a partner who wasn't abusive and wasn't cheating, but you just weren't happy, this is for you. Sometimes ending a relationship has nothing to do with someone being a bad person. You can love someone and still feel completely alone in the relationship. You can respect someone and still realize you've outgrown each other. You can appreciate who they are as a person and still be exhausted because you've been carrying the entire mental load or managing the house and the kids and all of it. I have never met a woman who walked away from a good man without a fight. Usually they've tried for years. There was many conversations and asking for support and begging them for things to be different. And then somewhere along the way, you just stop hoping that things will change and you realize you have to be the one to change. So if you left a marriage that looked fine from the outside, but was slowly breaking you on the inside, you are allowed to choose your own joy and peace over duty. And you're allowed to want a partner, not a roommate. That doesn't make you selfish or dramatic or a quitter or a failure. You are growing and you are evolving as a human being. And sometimes that requires you to walk away from things that aren't growing with you anymore.
Why I divorced such a good man. Let's talk about it. So in my marriage, I did a lot of covering up. I did a lot of covering up what my husband was doing because I was ashamed. I was guilty. There was something in me that made me believe that because he wasn't doing the things that he had vowed to do, that I was somehow at fault, and that in a good marriage, you cover those things up. You cover for your husband. You have your husband's back. You don't air your dirty laundry out there. You fight for your marriage. You stay in your marriage. And this is what I was raised in. This is the culture. This is the mindset. This is sometimes being a believer in a church. That's what's heard, is that you stay in a marriage. And so you hear about, granddaddy and grandpa and the deacon in the church got a whole nother family. And you hear about all these things and you believe that as a black woman that you have to suffer first before you get to love. You hear the whole mindset of, granddaddy did grandma, he cheated, but then he settled down and now grandma don't want for nothing. That's because granddaddy old and crusty and don't nobody want him no more, right? So, but translated into my marriage, I thought that I had to cover up the things that were going on because in my head, I had what's called cognitive dissonance, which means that basically what I'm doing and what I believe are not the same. So either I need to change what I'm doing or change what I believe. And so because I had such a mindset that as a believer, you do not get divorced, I had to change the mindset to say, well, maybe it's something that I'm doing. Maybe I can, if I just, endure it, then he'll change and he'll become the guy that he was for the first 6 months of our marriage. And we're 3 years in and I haven't seen that guy again. And so when I filed for a divorce and when I finally decided that this was enough, I had so many people coming to me and asking me, hey, why are you letting such a good guy go? Hey, what's going on? I thought he was perfect and he was great. And I had to realize that not only was I divorcing the guy that was not good to me, I was divorcing the image that I had portrayed to everyone else. So now not only was I having to go back and tell the truth of what happened in my marriage and why it was going to divorce, I had to realize within myself that I was part of the reason why people couldn't understand why I was leaving such a good guy, because I had covered for him for so long. So if you're in that position and you felt that way before, then that's something that you have to own first and foremost, but not carry around, right? You were doing what you thought was best. You were doing what you thought you were supposed to do. And I get that and I understand that, right? And we move on.
Some women have a very hard time getting over men because they actually have good taste. And what I mean by that, some women, they can leave a man alone because maybe they were in a bad spot in their life when they met the man. He didn't have much going for him. He was a dub-ass nigga. And it's just like, his laws, he's not going to find a bitch like me. He's just going to fuck with the next stupid bitch and, drag her through the mud. Cool. But a bitch who didn't find a nigga who's actually good to her and a good man and got a good job and got good attributes and y'all just didn't work out, that be the hardest breakups. That be the shit where you really can't stroke your ego for real because you know he gonna find a new bitch. You know the bitch might even be on your level. And I ain't saying to think a bitch is above you because ain't nobody above you, but you feel me? She might make a couple of more dollars than you do. She might drive a nicer car than you, These bum ass niggas, and I'm not trying to say that y'all also don't be crashing out with these bum ass niggas, which y'all definitely do. But I feel like it's easier to convince yourself that, I'm better than him, I'm above him or whatever, than a bitch who really fuck with good ass men all the time. Like, who got great taste all the time. Who always attracting a man that could deserve her time in marriage.
Hey, boo things, if you are single or divorced or single again this holiday season, I know this can be hard. Listen, I see you because I've been you. I can't tell you how many holidays that I spent dreading going and seeing family and friends because I was alone. And it was because my value and my worth was tied into at that time in my life, into belonging to someone. I didn't realize or didn't know or I'd forgotten that my value is tied to Christ and who I am in him and not in someone else. And so I just want to encourage you this holiday season that if you find yourself dreading a holiday, if you find yourself feeling alone, reach out. Don't do it alone. Don't suffer through this when you have people that are in your support system. That is not strength, that's pride. If you have a friend or a family member that this is their first time facing a holiday alone for whatever reason, whether it's divorce, whether they've been single for a while, they're single again, whether they've lost a loved one, this holiday or this year, reach out to them, right? Make sure that you let them know that they're not alone. Make sure you let them know that you love them, that you care for them. If you're having an event, invite them to the event, even if they say no, right? Invite them just to give them that option to know that, this world may seem big for them and they may feel like they're one of one, but you can do your part in making it a little bit smaller and reaching out to that person as well.
May God give you a rested heart, a heart that leans on him and trusts that he is the promise keeper, a heart that is at ease and moves at his instruction, a heart that does not respond to panic, pressure, or competition, a heart that knows that God will do as he said.
Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, comments, and subscribe.